It's the middle of the night, and the sky is glowing like a mad radioactive red. And if you squint, you can maybe see the moon through a thick layer of cigarette smoke and airplane exhaust that covers the whole city, like a mosquito net that won't let the angels in. And if you look up, you can see me standing on the edge of an 87-story building. And up there, a place for gargoyles and broken clock towers that have stayed still and dead for maybe like 100 years. Up there is me. And I'm freaking Batman. And I got Batmobiles and Batarangs and freaking Batcaves, like for real. And all it takes is a back room or a broom closet or a fire escape, and Danny's hand-me-down jeans are gone. And that navy blue polo shirt, the one that looks kind of good on me, that has that hole in it near the butt from when he got snagged on the chain link fence by Arturo's, but it's not even a big deal because I tucked that part in and it's like all good. That navy blue polo shirt, that's gone too. And I get like transformational. And nobody pulls out a belt and whips Batman for talking back or for not talking back. And nobody calls Batman simple or stupid or skinny. And nobody fires Batman's brother from the Eastern Taxi Company because they was making cutbacks neither. Right? Because not all they got is respect. Not like afraid respect. Just like respect. Because nobody's afraid of you. Because Batman don't mean nobody no harm. Ever. Because all Batman wants to do is save the day and maybe play a Hellas Bills one day and die happy and get mad famous. For real. And kill the Joker. Tonight, like most nights, I'm all alone and I'm watching and I'm waiting like an eagle or like an eagle, right? And I got my pointy ears on, and that mask that covers half my face is on too. And I got my bulletproof stuff in my chest so nobody can hurt me. And nobody is gonna come between Batman and justice. From where I am, I can hear everything. Somewhere in the city, there's an old lady picking styrofoam leftovers up out of a trash can, and she's putting a piece of sesame chicken someone spit out into her own mouth. And somewhere else, there's a doctor with a black lab coat and a whack haircut, and he's trying to find a cure for the diseases that are going to make us all extinct one day. And somewhere, there's a man. A man in a janitor's uniform, stumbling home drunk and dizzy after spending half his paycheck on 40-ounce bottles of twist-off beer and the other half on a 4-hour visit to some lady's house on a street where all the lights have been shot out by people who'd rather do what they do in this city in the dark. And half a block away from Janitor Man, there's a group of good-for-nothings who don't know no better, waiting to beat Janitor Man with rusted bicycle chains and imitation Louisville sluggers. And if they don't find a scent on him, which they won't, they'll just pound at him till the muscles in their arms start to burn till there's no more teeth to crack out. But they don't count on me. They don't count on no dark night with a stomach full of grocery store brand mac and cheese and cut up Vienna sausages. Because they'd rather believe that I don't exist. And from 87 stories up, I hear one of those good-for-nothings say, "Yo, give me the cash," real fast like that, "Yo, give me the fucking cash." And I can see Janitor Man mumble something in drunk language and turn pale. And from 87 stories up, I can hear his stomach trying to hurl its way out of his dickies. Right, so I swoop down mad fast. I'm like darkness, I'm like swoosh. I throw a battering at the naked light bulb. Bam! And they're all like, "Yo, whoa, motherfucker, who just turned out the lights? Yo, give me what you got, old man." "What? Yo, did anybody hear that?" "Hear what?" "There ain't nothing." "No, really, there ain't no bat." But then, 1 out of 3 good-for-nothings gets to the head. Bam! And the other one swings blindly into the dark cape before him, but before his fist had anything, I grab a trash can lid, and bam! Right in the gut. And number 1 comes back up with a jump kick, but I know judo karate too, so I'm like, bam! Twice! And then suddenly we all hear a ch-ch. And suddenly the whole room gets quiet. And the one good-for-nothing left standing, he grips a handgun. And he aims it straight at the ceiling like he's holding Jesus hostage. Like he's threatening to maybe blow a hole in the moon. And the one good-for-nothing who tried to jump kick me and the other good-for-nothing who got to the gut is both scrambling back away from the dark figure before him. And the drunk man, the janitor man, is huddled in the corner praying to St. Anthony, because that's the only one he could remember. And there's me, eyes glowing white, cape blowing softly in the wind, my heart beating, my chest heaving in a Morse code for fuck with me, come on, just once, just try. And the one good for nothing, left standing, the one with the handgun, he lowers his arm and he gives the moon a break. And he points it at me right between my pointy ears, like goalposts in their special teams. And the janitor man is still calling to St. Anthony, but he ain't picking up. And for a second it seems like maybe I'm gonna lose. Nah. Shoo, shoo, wakata, snap, wrist, crack, neck, slash, skin, meat, acid, ah! And I'm standing over him, and I got the gun in my hands now. And I hate guns. I hate guns because I'm Batman, and Batman's parents got iced by guns a long time ago. But I hold this thing, for maybe I could speak to him in a language he maybe understands. And the good for nothing becomes good for disappearing into whatever toxic waste, chemical sludge shithole he crawled out of. And we're all alone. And it's just me and janitor man. And I pick him up, and I wipe sweat and cheap perfume off of his forehead. And I lift him from his janitor man shirt collar, and he's taller than me, but the cape helps, so he listens when I look him straight in the eye, and I say 2 words to him. Go home. And he does, looking behind his shoulder every 10 feet. And I swoosh from building to building because I know where he lives, and I watch as his hands tremble as he pulls out a keychain and opens the door to his building. And I'm back in bed before he even opens the front door. And I hear him turn on the faucet and pour himself a glass of warm tap water. And I hear him put the glass back in the sink. And I hear footsteps. And they get closer as they get to my room. And he takes a step in, which he never does. And he's just staring off into nowhere, his face the color of sidewalks in the summer. And I act like I'm just waking up, and I say, "What's up, Bob?" And janitor man says nothing to me. But I see, in the dark, I see his arms go limp and his head turn back, like toward me. For I could see his face, for I could see his eyes. And he's just breathing. Like he remembers my eyes glowing white. Like he remembers my bulletproof chest. Like he remembers he's my pop. And for a second I don't say nothing. And he turns around, hand on the doorknob, and he ain't looking my way. But I hear him mumble 2 words to me. I'm sorry. And I open my window just a crack. If you look up high enough, you could see me. And from where I am, I could hear everything.